Hi, I'm Katie. I've been surrounded with vintage goodies most of my life, but just in the last 10 years, I've figured out just how much delight I get from having it in my home and looking at it for other people. Come along as I share my shopping adventures at thrift stores, estate sales, and sometimes even along the curb. I will also be showing some of my decorating projects that I've completed and how I have chosen to add vintage to my home for a modern granny chic look. I hope you will find joy along the way as we reawaken vintage. Hi there, everybody. We are going to do a video today on shipping, selling things online. I know some of you have been asking me and saying, that just seems way too complicated. I couldn't possibly do that. Well, I'm going to show you some of the tips and easy things that I've learned throughout the last couple of years so that you could do this too if you want to. So let's flip the screen and I'll show you around. Okay, so I'm upstairs in my office and I actually have some packages that I'm getting ready to mail. So I thought I would show you around and kind of walk you through the process. So first, you have to have shipping supplies. So yes, there is a little bit of investment at the beginning. I usually purchase large rolls of bubble wrap because I personally sell a lot of glass items from Amazon, and then always on the hunt for boxes. So yes, my room isn't as pretty as it could be, but that's okay. In this bucket down there, I have paper, wrapping paper, stuff to stuff the boxes with. So then you're going to say, well, how do you sell? Well, a lot of times now what's really popular is Facebook Marketplace. eBay, we all know about eBay. eBay's been around forever, really easy platform to use. You upload your pictures, you put the description, you decide if it's an auction or just a buy it now. They will then walk you through the process of how to figure out postage, sort of, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And then you just wait for somebody to purchase it, and then you can print the label right from eBay. So super simple, nothing wrong with that. Facebook Marketplace has become more popular in the last few years, and it is the main platform that I use. And I personally like it because of the discounted shipping. So again, as we get into the shipping, I don't want to get ahead of us. I'll explain what that means about discounted shipping. Okay. So again, eBay, you've got them all nowadays, right? eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, lots of different ways in which you can try. I would say give it a shot. Every platform is going to take a percentage. So remember that as you're coming up with the price. Also, in most cases, the shipping invoicing platform is going to take some money. So you got to keep that all in mind when you're setting a price. So I have sold some things. So let's go through my process. So obviously I've got some different items that I'm going to be shipping out. So I find an appropriate box. Obviously, this is from a book sale I did. And so what I need to do is I need to be able to send these people an invoice saying, okay, this is how much the item was, reminding them, what it is they purchased and how much it cost, and letting them know how much the shipping is. So this is where a little extra step you have to do. And you would even need to do this with eBay. eBay is good at what I call guessing. And I've had the issue before that when I was first starting off is I didn't pay attention. I just assumed that eBay understood what my item was and what kind of box and how much it weighed. And then I found that I was selling something and the shipping that the buyer paid was not enough. So you have to weigh your stuff. So another investment besides getting some supplies would be getting yourself a scale. I have a box on here right now. Again, got this on Amazon. I want to say it was $10 or $12. Not a whole lot of money, but you'll need that. So you get your boxes all together. Again, obviously, if it's something fragile, you'll want to wrap it, put all your stuffing, which is the case in here. You'll want to do that all before you weigh it. You're then going to weigh it. And I always put a few extra ounces because I haven't yet taped it up. It doesn't have the label. If I'm putting a little thank you card in there, all that needs to be added in there. Okay. So then what I do is I then get a sticky note. Okay. So in this case, I've written that it's 13 pounds, 7 ounces. Yes, this is a big, heavy box of books. And then I take measurements, all 3 measurements across, right? Across, the depth, the height of it, okay? And then I take that sticky note, and the next step is I'm going to show you what we do online. And there are some great websites that really walk you through how to create that invoice, how to figure out how much that shipping is, and then even to have the companies come and pick the package off of your porch in your mailbox so that you don't even have to go out any place to ship it. Okay, so now we are on the computer. So the next step is what? We need to figure out, we've got our sticky note, we have the weight, we have the measurements, we need to figure out shipping. There are 2 different ways you can do this, and then a completely different way if you're on Facebook Marketplace. So we'll start with a company that I really like, and it is called Pirate Ship. So what you would do, you create an account and you need to then calculate shipping. So you would click on rates. If you notice, if you've ever bought anything, especially through like Facebook groups and stuff like that, not Facebook Marketplace or eBay, they're going to ask you for your PayPal email address, because obviously they need to send you an invoice, and a zip code. And that's why, in order to calculate shipping, they need to have your zip code, right? So then you can see whether it's a box or an envelope, priority mail. You're going to choose how you're going to want to send it. You're going to then put in the dimensions, how much it weighs, yes, pounds and ounces, and then you're going to get your rate quote. It's as simple as that. I don't know if anybody's out there like me that sells a lot of books. The only difference, and it's a few extra steps with books, is that the option to choose media mail, and if you're not familiar, media mail is an option the post office has to send things like books, DVDs, things like that at a much cheaper rate, but not a lot of tracking, and it can take a long time. But books can be really heavy, so any discount you could possibly get is a good thing. So I will quickly, you can fast forward if you're never going to sell books, but I'm going to quickly show you the extra steps, okay? So if you want to send something media mail, you can't just click on rates because none of the options for media mail show up. It's just the other options like first class mail or anything else, priority mail, depending on how heavy it is. So if I want to calculate shipping for books, I have to click on rates. I then have to actually pretend that I'm creating a label. Here's the tricky part, is they want you to fill out the label here in order to get to the next step. So you're not going to have all this information yet. You're going to only have their PayPal email address and their zip code. So what I do is I will Google the zip code, find out where it is. Let's say it's a Cheyenne, Wyoming zip code. I will then look for a large store like a Walmart that is from that same zip code. And just for the time being, I will plug in that address in order to be able to then get the quote. Okay, so I filled out the whole ship to section with a mock section, right? And then I'm going to choose whether it's a box of books, whether it's an envelope with 1 book. And then I'm going to enter the same information. Here is where you get the fun. If you click on extra services, there's an option for that it qualifies for media mail, and then you'll be able to get your rate for that. So a little extra step if you're sending something media mail. Okay, so now I know how much that I have asked for the product, how much they have said and agreed. I know how much the shipping is going to be. Now I want to go to PayPal to send out the invoice. In most cases, PayPal is just the safest way to go. And the reason is because PayPal will actually has some protection both for the buyer and the seller. So you saw what I did. I opened up my account. I clicked on request. Again, if this is just friend to friend, you're just going to put in the person's email and request the money. Easy peasy. But again, if it's a stranger, you want that protection that if something happens, both of you are protected. So you would create an invoice, And when creating that invoice, again, you need to have that PayPal email address. You would put that in. You'll put each line for, depending on how many items you are sending, you can add more lines, and then you click on add to add the amount of shipping. Once it's all done, you'll click send and send that invoice off and just wait for them to pay it, okay? Once they've paid it, you've already have it all boxed up. Now you need it to be picked up. In most cases, I think most of us use just the regular old post office, but UPS is actually getting a little bit more popular there. Both of them have a place where you can go and schedule for them to pick the items up from your home or work. So let me click on here. You can copy this website address. This is where you would schedule your pickup from the post office. Hope you've had time. You can pause it if you need it. And UPS, I have not done this myself yet, has an option as well to pick up, okay? So this is the standard way in which you're going to do all this. Again, a lot of steps. I understand it might not be for everybody, but just like anything in life, the more you do it, the more practice you have, the easier it becomes. I promised I'd get back to Facebook Marketplace for a second. Facebook Marketplace is a little different than eBay when it comes to shipping. So eBay, again, will guesstimate what that shipping is, but you cannot trust it. So if you want to get a specific dollar amount that you need to charge for postage, we really need to do exactly what we just showed you, right? Which was you need to weigh the box, you need to get the dimensions. I believe eBay has a way in their website to put all those dimensions in. If not, you can go to the post office's website and calculate postage that way. What's different and which actually is very nice about Facebook Marketplace is that they only go by the weight of something. So they have a lot of different options when you go to create a post for sale. So when this is good is, let's say you have a really large item, but it doesn't weigh a lot. In most cases, and we saw it, we have to put in the dimensions of the box and the weight. If it's a large box, it's going to cost more from UPS or the post office or UPS to mail that out. Facebook doesn't have that. They're only going by the weight. So Facebook is a great option to use if you've got a large item that doesn't weigh a whole lot, because they have just a range of prices. They don't have just one price. So let me show you quickly here what I am talking about. Okay, so let me choose something that I have got up for sale, and we will show you exactly what I mean. Sorry about that. You're getting all my personal stuff. Let me find something that's good to try to use. Okay, we'll use this. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I've gotten to the first page. I've put in what the name of the item is, how much I want to charge for it. You click next, and the next option is shipping, right? You could always just sell local through Facebook, which means somebody's going to come to your house, or you're going to meet them at a predetermined place and pass the goods and the services. But what I usually do is both shipping and local. So they're going to then say, well, what do we want to do for shipping? You're going to usually not create your own shipping label. Again, using a prepaid one through Facebook is so much easier. So the next option then is, how much does it weigh? It's the only thing that they're asking you is how much it weighs. And you can see they've got a lot of different possibilities. So let's say what I want to sell, I know it's, I had to weigh it. I still had to weigh it in the box, but it's 1 to 2 pounds. It's then going to give me the option of either UPS, which would be $8.94, or the post office, which is $9.25. You have to choose which one. But again, this could be a huge, large item that just doesn't weigh a lot, and you're getting much better postage this way than you would through Pirate Ship or through eBay. So just keep that in mind when you're searching for different platforms to where to put items that you're going to sell. Okay. So I hope that this has been helpful to you, has given you some tips on what to do. Again, I am here for any questions. If you would like to get started in this and just aren't sure how to do it, I'm here to answer your questions anytime you have them. So whether you're watching this via Facebook, whether you're watching this strictly from YouTube, we are here to help you out. So we would love for you to follow us on YouTube. Here's the page, Reawaken Vintage. Click the subscribe button. We're always looking for new people.